Good day to you. I'm Peter Alexander in for Hallie Jackson. Tonight, we do come on the air with that breaking news from the Fulton County Jail in Atlanta. Multiple people, we have now learned, have been stabbed, leaving at least one person dead and two others hurt. We're still getting new information about the scene as the situation there evolves. Officials say it remains an active situation inside that jail. We've been talking a lot about this place recently, of course, not only because 5 people have died there in just the last month, but because it was just a week ago today that the former president, Donald Trump, surrendered at that very same facility to be booked on those election interference charges. The violence at the jail happening just hours after Mr. Trump requested his case in Georgia be separated from some of his other co-defendants, including those who could see their trial start as soon as October. That after earlier this morning officially pleading not guilty and waiving his right to be arraigned in person next week. Mr. Trump's legal team says in a filing that they will, quote, not have sufficient time to prepare a defense by October 23rd, when one of the former president's co-defendants, Kenneth Chesebro, is scheduled to stand trial. Mr. Trump faces 13 felony charges related to his alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 election results in Georgia. That's from Georgia alone. NBC's Blaine Alexander has been watching all of this for us. And Alexander, Blaine, let's get right to that breaking news. You and others have been reporting out just sort of how tough a place that Fulton County Jail is. New evidence of that right now. What's unfolding there?
Well, Peter, this jail has come under a lot of attention as of late, but it's had a lot of troubles for quite some time. This is a jail that is currently under investigation by the Department of Justice, a jail that has seen a number of inmates die there this year, including 5 this month alone, and including one of them who was covered in bed bugs. This is a place that has seen chronic overcrowding and just a number of issues. So what's happening right now is I've been speaking with a spokesperson for the Fulton County Sheriff's Office. She tells me this is an active scene. There's still a lot going on, and we're hoping to get more information in the coming minutes about what exactly is unfolding. But we're told 3 people have been stabbed. One of these people have died. 2 others are suffering injuries there. Now, as for the jail itself, we know that the sheriff had actually asked the commission for money to build a new jail. By a feasibility study, it would cost some $2 billion to make. And so that's something they've been requesting for a while. But again, a lot of trouble with this jail, and it's been going on for quite some time, Peter.
I know you're going to keep an eye on that right now. Obviously, we're trying to get any reporting we can out of that situation. I want to switch gears, though, to the political situation and the legal matter for the former president, to his case. What do these moves to sort of sever his case and waive his arraignment in person mean for the future of Mr. Trump's case there in Georgia? Not just for him, frankly, but also for his co-defendants.
Well, it means that we're likely going to be bogged down in a whole lot of legal filings and motions in the months to come. So here's what we know. We know that October 23rd had been set as a date for Ken Chesebro. He's somebody who had demanded a right to a speedy trial. The judge said, OK, here you go, October 23rd, let's do it. Well, the former president in a filing today said, I don't want to be tied to that date. He said, through his attorneys, that that's not enough time to mount a proper defense, to go to trial in just a couple of months on something like this. So he's asking to be severed from that specifically. Now, the other thing that we've been watching, of course, is that there have been some co-defendants who have asked to be severed altogether, severed from all of the other 18 co-defendants. Of course, we see that that could be something that could be forthcoming from the former president as well, to kind of expand that request. The other thing that he asked for today, though, is something that is pretty standard and something that we expected from him, Peter, to waive his arraignment, to waive his right to appear before a judge next week. During that arraignment, he's entered a not guilty plea. And, Peter, one thing I do want to point out is that arraignment would have happened here, right in front of where I'm standing at the Fulton County Courthouse. We talked about the jail. There's no plan of him ever going back to the jail. So I think that's important to put into context as well, given how plagued it is.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.